Dear kind of the eternal Father, once again, I want to give you thanks. I want to give you praise. I just want to give you thanks for this reunion, to join all the community together and to have peace within the community, dear kind Father. I want to bless you for these young people who have taken up the challenge to lead our young men and women in the community of Kingston 7, Kingston 6 era, dear kind Father. And let whatever we say this day, Lord, let it be done to thy honor and glory. Amen. All right. Well, my name is Dean Road, and basically tonight rap is just a more socializing. Mr. Clive Wilson, he'll be going to a meeting tomorrow, and he's gonna be reporting about our progress in getting the scout group started, which is consists of our five major community and the tavern. Once you're, the Kingston 7, Kingston 6, Kingston 7 era. So there's no real boundary, and that is why we call it the United Scout Group. Presently, I've had people from the Goldsmith Villa, from Hermitage, from Bedward, the river, over the river, Big Bedward Garden, I think, and in Augustown. So we are trying to get somebody from Bedward Pasture. This is not a short-term program, but at this time, what I'm going to do, we're going to just ask each person who are presently on to just introduce yourself and just introduce yourself. Welcome and where you're from, so you get an idea of where you're from. As you can see, I am and I have two different uniforms. I have my Jamaican Scout uniform, and behind me, I am in the midst of my a troop that I've started, and that is beside that gentleman there is the present mayor for Hartford, Connecticut. He's the mayor for Hartford, so we have been to a lot of different places. So that is the group I've started here in Hartford. So I'm in Hartford, Connecticut, USA. So we can have somebody else.
Well, my name is Conroy Wilson, and I'm living at Augustown, 43 Augustown Road. And it's my first time being in one of these prestigious group, and I seem to like it already. Seem to like it already. I hope it actually takes me further, and I see hope and blessing for it.
Okay, welcome, sir. Next person. Okay, go ahead, no man.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Mikey, y'all go ahead, Mikey.
Yes, man. Because look, may I get a good reception. Let me stop and say what me have to say. All right. Good night, everyone. My name is Michael Johnson. I'm from Hermitage originally, but I'm now residing in Portland. And I was always a member of the Hermitage Scout Troop. I have never stopped being a scout. Although I leave the scout and went to the JDF and was still involved in the scouting. I enjoyed it, so I realize now that we need to give back to the youths of the community. So my desire is to see the scout troop start and move out early next year. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Okay then.
Yeah, man. Dougie, before your Zoom run out.
I previously served as Scoutmaster for Augustown School. I was a Boy Scout since 1968. I'm now living in Florida, USA, for the last 35 years. But I still interested in Scout. The motto, as you know, all know, once a Scout, always a Scout. when you're called upon as a scout, you must be ready. Be prepared. And this is what I'm still doing right now. I'm prepared to help get Augustown, Hermitage, Kingston 6, Kingston 7 community, get something good going. It's a good running scout troop, or more than one if possible. So I'm here putting in my effort and playing my part as a whole scouter. I was living in Augustown. I was living in Hermitage at one point also. So I know the community. I was living in Henderson Flats. So I'm prepared to help all of these communities. Because at one point or the other, I was a resident for many years in all of these communities. So this is where I am putting in my effort right now to help rebuild what the communities and get the young one ready and prepare for a better tomorrow. Thank you all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Douglas. Mr. Williams or Mr. Wilson, I don't know who's going to want to go next.
All right, I can go. I'm Donald Williams,
Okay.
formerly of Hermitage. Started a scout troop there in Hermitage as well as Kingsgate um, Prep Cub Scout, and was district commissioner for St. Andrew for about 2 or 3 years. Lived in Canada now, and Dean kind of asked if I want to join in to help. Of course, I'm always willing to do whatever I can for the community, being somebody who was born and raised there. So I have a lot, uh, you know, of history with that community there, and still have it dear to my heart, because it's where I spent most of my youthful life, with Dean as my neighbor and many others. So, and Michael as a brother in arms from the army. So yeah, so here am I, whatever I can do to help.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Wilson?
Good night, everyone.
Good
See, that
night.
means a lot. Anyhow, my name is Clive Wilson, as you may know, and well, from my past experience as a scout, I was one of them who revised back the Central Branch Scout Troop, which is that was a Sea Scout from Mr. Bellamy
Okay.
and Miss Myrtle. I don't remember her last name. Anyway, and then I also one who revised back the Christ the King Scout Troop. And as I said, it was through the war and thing. It's dormant, but when Mr. Andre Curtis came to me and said, well, then he wants some uniform groups. I was the one who go around and get all the uniform groups between Kingston and St. Andrew. But I never leave out the scout as a scouter. And I always we always want to talk about the scout. And I was glad when I link up on a Zoom meeting with Mr. Roden. I know Mr. Roden wants to say scout, I'm going to put on him work and everything and ready. So I know with this, and then again, I got some people like Mr. Conroy. There was a lady, Miss Edwards, but she's saying true, there is a street light up by Bryce Square. So Roden, with everybody from Augustone was every year you have a street light up by a Christmas street light, sorry. A Christmas tree line up by Bryce Square. So most people up there doing them relevant, doing their part. So I'm here ready and I'm willing to go.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wilson. Galaxy, I don't know who's that Galaxy. You want to introduce yourself for us, please?
I'm not sure. You saying Galaxy? I don't know one who has Galaxy phone. Okay, my name. You're talking to me, Mr. Roden, right? Right, Skipper.
Oh, I pay a cheap phone. You are the most expensive phone, man.
No, you can't say Galaxy phone because, as I said, I don't know one who have Galaxy phone.
Anyway. I don't know. You're going about Zoom and Galaxy and stuff.
You introduced me to Zoom. My first time using Zoom because my son used it on school. So anyway, my name is Mr. Roden. Asked me to join this Zoom meeting. I'm not sure what exactly it's all about, but as I said, scouting, I'm always scout because I used to be the leader for Christ the King Scout Troop back in the days, and then after we merged with Hermitage, so I used to be a part of Hermitage Scout Troop too. So as I said again, my name is Marlon Warner. I am now living in the Bronx, and that's the USA. So I'm just here to catch up on fill in and see what's going on and just follow. Because once a scout, always be a scout. All right. Good night.
Yeah, man. Respect, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not so used to the high tech. So we have our technician, engineer, one who set out the question, they might not want a piece of answer about scouting, Mr. Sean Grant.
Dean, I might say something here. In this group, please, I don't want unnecessary in the local, I don't want unnecessary some little people that post all little things. What I want is it must be about scouting. Everything about, like what Mr. Sean there came up and they asked what is a reef knot, but he never really explained.
Yes.
Like that, this is that I want in the group. A person can just come up and even ask when was Powell's birthday and
Baden Paul.
like those who want to kill like those, no again we can put in a little circle question about scout. That's what I want in a local group or any group at all. Because I mean I put a man get chopped up well. We see it already on social media. We don't want it back in the group. Please.
True.
All right, Sean, you can go ahead now.
I'm Sean Grant. I'm a member of the Hermitage Scout Troop since in the 80s. Well, I believe it never stopped because once a scout, always a scout. Well, as Mr. Roden said, I am the technical man. I do all this technical stuff, providing us with this meeting. And I am also a member of the Hermitage Citizen Association. Hearing about the Scout, this new initiative with the Scout, really elated about it and want to do everything we can to bring back that beautiful time that we had as Scouts in Hermitage. So here I am at your service.
All right, thank you very much. And just to get you guys, we have two new person from the group, which is Conroy and Marlon. What we are trying to do, as Mr. Clive Wilson said, is the Augusttown CDC, which comprises of all the community within the Augusttown area, Hermitage, Goldsmith Villa, Bedward Pastor, Bedward Garden. They want to restart scouting. And they were suggested that we start Hermitage Scout Troop and the Augusttown Scout Group. But it came to our attention, me and Mr. Wilson, that both of us to just merge. So rather than having Hermitage and Augusttown, we're gonna invite all the community. And that is how we came up with the name United Scout Troop. So that is what is the first of its kind. We have never had a group like that. In Scout,
I think so. I think in the 60s you have one United.
no, you have Hope United.
Hope United.
Yeah.
Yes, Hope United, right.
Yeah, but in the scouting, you are identified by what is called a scarf. This is a scarf. Everybody is identified by their scarf. Apparently, because these two groups that merge, I would say the Augusttown and Christ the King and Hermitage. Hermitage was blue and white. Blue and white is a St. Andrew color, the color for St. Andrews. That's a national St. Andrew color. If you notice that lady in the blue, the blue and white. So whatever we're gonna do, we have to design a scarf that would have like the Augusttown and the Hermitage color on it. So we might have a blue. I think Augusttown was orange, not orange and dark blue, right, Pele? Was the orange, and so what it could do is just have those stripes, and then we have to take it down to the scout headquarters for them to approve it. So they will have to approve whatever scarf we are gonna create now. But so we're going to be going through something which Mr. Wilson, Mr. Clive Wilson will be designing. So we're going to be working on designing that scarf. And bear in mind, this project that we're doing, it's a, I would say we give yourself a 5-year time span. It's not a short-term span. We'd like to really get what is called the group committee. This is what we're having now. And this is going to be the backbone of the functioning of the troop. Once this we're ready, and we're going to identify what is called a sponsoring body. And we're trying to ask the Augustown CDC to be the sponsoring body for the group. So we have to have a sponsoring body in place, then the group committee. Then we're going to be sending out application to the boys. I would strongly, this is a suggestion, that we get 5 boys from each community. If there are more than 5, then we'll take them, but let us start with at least 5. If 6 come, that's still a plus. But let us take a group that is manageable. So for the next 6 months, I think we need to start preparing the leaders, go through training about the whole groundwork, because we don't know how well we're going to be dealing with personal contact. So Mr. Wilson is the man on the ground, he can tell us. But once we have the leader trained, they have to be certified before we can allow them to start working with the boys. Because we don't want the leader come today and then tomorrow we have all these boys that everybody run left Mr. Wilson alone. So we have to familiarize ourselves with the leaders. We're going to be having a meeting with just Mr. Wilson and the leaders on the ground. So that's what tonight's meeting is basically for Mr. Wilson to report to the CDC tomorrow. That is why this meeting is so sudden. But they are the one who's going to be sponsoring the group. So when you can tell them, yes, there's a group coming on the way, for next year. So just a little sort of snapshot. So in that group, we normally have a group. So we can have groups, we can have several assistant leader, a scout leader, and what is called a group leader. So Mr. Wilson could be the group leader. You guys amongst yourself can see who's going to be the scout leader. And then you can have as much assistant leaders. So each community would have an assistant leader. And then the plan is to really move around. You might use Augustown or have a base, but have these boys move around the community to bring that unity. So the first meeting, you might have it in Hermitage or at Augustown School. The second meeting at Augustown Hermitage. The third meeting, you might go to Goldsmith Villa. The fourth meeting, you might go to Bedward Garden. So this way we can have the unity and all the leaders, they would move around with the group. So that is why I said it's not a short term. The highest rank for a scout is called the Queen Scout. So I will get a program. So there's a timeline that they need to work on. So it might take them a year to get an advanced thing, but each meeting, they'll be focusing on something. Okay, that's the scarf for the Christ the King. So we can try add these colors within what we have. I think Augustown Scout Troop was a blue and white, I think, blue and orange. But this is like an idea of where we at now. So presently we have, I think it's 19 people in the large group, and we have 7 or 8 in the one in Jamaica that Mr. Wilson is trying to get. But because tonight's meeting is so sudden, it's just basically acquaintance. And if there's any question, you can ask myself and Mr. Wilson, and we can further. So we're open. Mr. Wilson, you have anything else you want to add to what I've said?
No, not at the moment. Just continue.
Okay. To become a scout leader, you have to do at least 2 basic training course. And then they have to go by scout headquarters. Because of the Zoom is going now, we can have training. We have 2-3 people from the national, the training team that is on the committee here. So we can do training by Zoom. So I would say maybe the next 2 months, we could focus on training the leaders. You know, you don't want to take people out there without having no idea. So we could look at maybe January, February for leaders training. There will be events by Zoom that I will invite you guys to partake in if you want to partake so you could get ideas and see what is going on. Like, for example, tomorrow, the Scout headquarters is going to have like a culture with Scout from all over the island. They have sent me the link and I asked the commissioner if I can send you. So after this meeting, I'm going to send you the link so you guys can get a chance to see what they normally have it in person, but because of Zoom, they're going to have a meeting tomorrow. If you have the time, you can look at it. If not, you know, but once there's something going on and I ask permission, can get a chance to look and see. But these things, they happen on an annual basis. In scouting, this every month, like February, it's usually like the Founders Day. There's a parade, we go to King's House. So they're always continual program. But the main thing is for the boys to advance. And I would say one of my downfall is because we didn't have a advanced program, a steady advanced program. Scout have been in the group for years and they didn't advance. And I think with this group, we want to set when I come here in America, the highest rank, it's called an Eagle Scout. And it's the same thing in Jamaica, that's called Queen Scout. And the Scout have to achieve all these advancements before his 18th birthday. So what we do a reverse timeline. Reverse timeline is that first we have to decide what age group we're gonna work with. Will we work, I'm thinking of 10 to 13. The group can decide elsewhere, and otherwise, once a guy is 16, 17, sometimes the interest span, you have to put them in a separate group. But we have to decide what age group we're gonna work in, and then we put a timeline. You know, what if the first step is get the advanced badge, which might take say 4 months or to a year, so we can teach them the law, the promise, the different thing within that time span. So what we do, we do a thing called reverse time span, reverse. So you put a program for the guys set up to his 17th birthday. So once he come in the program from 10, because I started my group like 9 years ago, and I set up 10-year program for my scout to get that Eagle Scout. It's not an overnight program. So we have to understand that we have to do a reverse timeline, and we see who can advance within certain times factor. So at least once we start the group, we can say, yes, these 10 boys are gonna get the highest rank in scout in Jamaica. That is the Queen Scout. So we have to put them on that to make the interest. So all these things, they have to take the badges and the advance. So once they come to meeting and know that they will achieve this rank, they're gonna put out a lot of interest. But when we were doing it, we were just coming to scouting, we were just coming for fun. We were just doing things at random, just to enjoy, learn to swim, learn to hike, learn to cook. But as we go older and get to know the program, I think we wanna deal with advance. However, you're gonna have scouts who just want to learn the basic skill. We still have to cater for them. But I just want to give you a heads up of what direction we would like to go. That is why we have to make like a 5-year or 10-year plan for this project proposal for the next 5 years to see where we would go from here. Any question?
Could you explain a little bit about the Queen Scout ranking and the benefits?
All right, the Queen Scout, it's the highest rank in the Scout. You start as a Cub Scout at the age of, I would say 7 to 10. Those are the Cub Scout, the short pants, the Cub Scout. And then you can continue, but you have to start a new advancement within, I think it's 11 until 17. you like for in America, it is equivalent. They have to get 21 badges. Each badge represent a career, a trade, or a skill. In other words, you have to get, there are 10 badges that you must. There are like 150 different badges. This is what I do when I was leaving Hermitage from 1986. I was selected as a counselor to come to the United States to teach these badges. So I teach woodwork, I teach wood carving, and I teach basketry. So as a scout leader in Jamaica, we have what is called international exchange program. So they ask people to come up and teach these badges. The objective is each year. So like for example, my son or a member of my troop joined at 11. He can, for the summer or for that year, he need 4 badges because it's gonna take him a 10-year time span. He select the 4 badges that is easy for him at that early age. So he would do woodwork. So there are like 150 different badges that they can choose from. Something similar in Jamaica. And as I said, because I'm here, things and time change as time goes on, but it's somewhat similar. So if for the first,
Your mic is muted.
yeah, for example, like in the army, you get he's a recruit. Then for him to get his first stripe, you need 4 badge. So what we normally do, you're not gonna give a young scout. Some badges take three months. Some badges take 4 months. He has to work on it like management over a 3-month time span. So what you do, you identify the most simplest one to encourage him and motivate him. So you like for example, you have electrical installation, you have swimming, you have riflery, you have plumbing, you have photographer. Whatever you can think of as a trade, it's also what you're gonna teach the scout. Some scout might be interested in riflery. Another scout might be interested in swimming. So all he need to become a Queen Scout is 21 badges. So you have the choice of selecting what badge he wants to do, but you as a leader have to also guide him because you don't want him to choose a badge and get frustrated there at this early age. The badges are one segment of it. Then there's also another part where leadership skill is concerned. Like within the first year, you need to know how to tie his knots. You need to know about the history. So you, the leader, we, the leader, can teach most of those things to advance him. So he's gonna need personal hygiene. Although there are several different requirements for his first year advancement along with his badge. So you have so in other words, to get a Queen Scout, he must both advance and receive those badges. There are like 10 badges out of that 100 that every scout must be able to do. So like swimming is a must. For example, first aid, it's a must. So there are like some required badge. So they have to do some of those badges. Management, you have to write a management program. You have to do a project proposal. So there, each year the system change, but it is somewhat similar to that. As scout leader, we don't have to know all these badges. We do not have to know all these stuff, but we guide and we select expert. Like for example, drilling. Suppose you want to do some drilling. You, the scout leader, do not have to learn how to drill. Mr. Williams, as a person who was in the army, he can come in as a drill instructor because that is what he specializes in. So we guide them and said, okay, Sean is a photographer. For the photographer badge, because the scout leader cannot offer them some badge to his own scout. So we would bring Sean as a badge counselor to teach the scouts photography. First aid, we can look for a nurse and get a nurse to come in and teach first aid. Safety, we can ask a fireman to come. So the scout leader is just a guidance to really help them in that direction. So it's not something that's gonna burden you. But you don't want when that instructor come in, he can't control the boys. And that's where the scout leader comes in, to keep record of the boys in tune. And if you have 100 boy, like the army, you put them in different groups. Boys like to work in groups. These groups are called patrol. So you find, say, a patrol, them get advanced, they get excited. Boy, like, group them up. So you have 8 in a patrol. You don't have more than 8 boys in a patrol. So you have a leader might be assigned to one patrol and things like that. So I don't know if any question, am I going too fast?
No, I think you're going just fine. But I want to ask Mr. Wilson, Mr. Clive Wilson, a little thing. We know right now how the community is and the mindset of the boys. It's boys who mostly we're interested in to kind of, change their futures. Mechanisms that we've used in the past to bring out boys may not work today. Do you have anything in mind of how you would, bring out some of these youngsters?
Yeah, I have things in mind because I know like the young guys like what you would call well, like people they like to go out, like exposure because I look for most of the young guys in Augustown. So they never been to Alpha Tree. When you came to Alpha Tree was like when you look at all them build a bus park, it come like foreign. So they will want to go because right now we started about there. Myself and Mr. Andrea Curtis, along with Jasmine, we have started about the Augustown Police Club. And those are young, vibrant youths that are going. And the police has said, well, the glad it is going back again. And I said, well, we still have a gap because not every youth they want to go to the youth club, the police club. So they come because when I come in Augustown, I was understand that there are a lot of groups that was here. And when I speak to people, they are willing to come on board to do it. But we just need to get it, as Mr. Roden said, get the people organized. And once we get it, we can get the young minds. And when you talk about, when I have my group in Augustown, and my group was growing, because when the first batch go on camping and come back and start telling friends, like them say, oh, I want to come. And then when the time was going, it was going out of proportion. We were planning to have a next group. But we cannot, man. There are ways for the youths, the young minds, you can control the young minds.
Thank you. Satisfactory answer. Mr. Roden.
Yeah, and I also like to say that some groups, and there's a law now that girl can be a part of the scouting. Girl, I don't know at what age, but it's very fragile. If you're gonna have girl in the group, you have to have a female leader and certain age group. I don't know what is in Jamaica. I don't know what's the criteria. Mr. Wilson can bring me up to date.
But remember one time we had a problem with himself. Being as a girl guy was in Kingston and St. Andrew. They didn't want to start to take away the cars. Remember, we were having a problem with the girls who want to be a part of the scouts. Yeah. I know the rural parish them have girls and boys. But for
I support you. I support the girls. I could remember on one occasion I took a patrol from Jamaica to Antigua. We had 5 boys and 2 girls. And let me tell you something, man. Those girls broke out their camp. Those girls made the leader chew off her things so she can't bother with them. Having girl, it is so dangerous. I mean, things you have to watch the leader and the girl. The girls them they use their charm and you can't punish them. I say punish them because time is different now. If they have duty list, they make the boys them do the work for them. So you have to know when you're dealing with girls. So it's an option if we think that we can manage the girls in it. I'm just saying Jamaica every year they have different rules. But I strongly would recommend we have a girl guide group and we work alongside the girl guide group and leave that responsibility to the girl guide group. You know, we have better result in the past as when anything go wrong, the girls never get blamed. It's the boy the boy always do it wrong. You know, and you don't want the boys them to come there, so we have to be careful. But um these are some of the major things that I think we can, but I know we can do it. Going out, excursion is a pity. Like now, I know Mr. McInpine, or he is the person in charge of the community safety division. And if we're gonna be going around the different community, we're gonna have the police involved very, very strong. He's a community public relation person, and he's gonna be working with the group. Along one of my cousin, he drive the bus for tour. He normally asks me for once you need anything, he takes the van, he take the police on different tours. So we could merge along with the police because as what Mr. Wilson said, taking them out the community is one of the most exciting things. A lot of things happen, it's high risk. So we also have to prepare ourselves before we start thinking about taking it. It's nice, it's excitement for them, but it can put you or we as leader, if we don't properly organize ourselves or prepare ourselves, at a high risk. So we have to equip, educate, and prepare the leaders when we're going to be working with these group. But as I said, with most of us, we were like a one-man army running in the scout troop. Marlon can tell you, he was, Dougie can tell you, me and Mr. Williams was the only one in Hermitage. So I think with all what we have learned there, merging together, this is a very historical group. And I would strongly recommend we do a pilot project with like maybe 20 or 30 boys and go for 100. If we start with 20, I will put a deadline to say we're going to do a recruitment from say January until April. If we get 10 boys, we do a cutoff and we just work with those 20 boys and then we start preparing them. And then we do a second batch of having them, but let them be hungry to want to be a part of that batch. We just start a first batch. This is a proposal. Then we can start because we don't want nobody to hold back the group. So once we start with the plan and with the program, and we don't want somebody to come in today and leave tomorrow. So we need the seriousness of these boys. So we can say, yes, this batch is gone. So we can have a second thing, like we'd have like a recruitment. So we could have those boys as recruiters. So after a month, we see that they're serious. Then we can move, once the first batch move up to a higher rank, the recruit would just move up to that and replace them. Then if they are new, so we put people like on a waiting list or something like that. But we don't have them, just a proposal to have everybody just come to them and run up and start, Mr. Wilson, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, same thing I have in mind. Have a group of guys because that's the way I start. I refer the one in one by Christ the King. A group of us came together, and I think Father Nash was the one who give us take it out and pack it well, and give us the uniform. And when the boys to the uniform, there about 5 or 6 boys in uniform coming to meeting them. So wait, and then I say everybody start run come and then them join in. But it's a good pilot program to have about, if I say 4 from each division. I don't want to say district. I want to say 4 from each community, or each region, Auguston. I think we can, if 4 boys in a Hermitage have a uniform, I know if I get 4 more, in brother my one come, in cousin, 4 from Gola, from Boom Down as we call it. Yeah, I think that's a good program. They will come in once them say people in uniform and them say you're moving, because they will come.
We're not gonna limit them, If 10 come, we just accept the 10 still. But I would like to see at least 4 from each community because we're not gonna turn away nobody.
If persons,
Sorry. But we start with those. We'll start a small amount first.
All right.
Do the small amount. Because we can have people on waiting list, you know, because they say, if men just want to come in to escape from don't want to do him duty, and really come for serious. So I just say, we can have people on waiting list, you know. Because you're talking about 20, we're talking about 200, because everybody, because we have a lot of, because I believe even Augustone Primary School, they want to start a scout group. I thought like whoa. And I know if them see it, we can get it. We just need to get them first. We just need to get the wheel moving. And once the wheel is moving, then we know we can have what we want.
If persons like places from Duane Park, Patrick City, want to be a part of the thing, what do we do then?
Well, I believe once their parents, when they say, well, to travel from there is a good distance because we do have a straight bus from Augustown to there. So it may be a little bit ticklish. But if they have parents who want to carry them, if they have kids who come to Augustown Primary School, live down that side. So if they want to come and them parents give them consent, because we'll have certain consent form to the parents, and then parents willing for them to come. I don't think we should lock them out. What's about that, Dean?
No, as I said, it's what is called an open group. Because it's an open group means that anyone can come in the group once they are. If it was like the Christ the King Church, sometimes they call it like a closed group because it's related to exactly people within the Christ the King Church. So because it's the only thing is that will our parents come to Augustown, because most of these meetings gonna happen, Mr. Wilson, after work. It's gonna be 6 to 8 o'clock. Will the parents take their child around the community that time? Once they are willing, we don't have a problem with it, you know. And I said the consistency, and that's where if we start this group and Hermitage or Augustine would like to start a second group, we are willing to work with that second group. If Augustine School would like to start a Cub Scout, that would also be what is called the feeder program. So we would, because the Scout group is going to start at the age of 12, and the Cub Scout is going to be below 12. So we could use that for the guy to advance in rank, and we could use Augustine as a feeder program. So we would also adopt, if Oak Valley want to start a group, if Providence want to start a group, would use this Cub Scout as a feeder program for the Scout. So they could start there and advance in rank go up. So I think that's a wonderful idea. Anybody have any question or comments or thoughts? All right, if there's no thought, as we said once again, for leaders, so there are paperwork that we have to do. Whatever we do, it have to be documented. So we have the group committee that I've sent to Mr. Wilson. We're gonna have the leader thing so we can review it, we can look at it, and as usual, we're gonna have the committee. We have committee member, like we are the committee. So we have the group committee, we have the parents committee, we have the leaders, and then we have the boys. So we're gonna be working on the committee, the sponsoring body. And once we get the application for the leader, that's where we're gonna create a parent group. So we're gonna need the support of the guardians. We don't want somebody to join, if it's even once a month, but we must know no boy is gonna come in just like that. If his father or his mother is gone, but he must have somebody to be responsible for him, before we can take a boy without a parent. Nobody, I don't think a child is by themselves. If a bigger brother or somebody, but we have to have that person willing to come to meeting whenever there's because a strong scout group is the person who have somebody looking after him. But sometimes we know the reluctance of some parents. They're gonna tell us about them busy and thing, but we're gonna try as best as possible to before we start the group, the parents are very excited. They want the son to join it. So that is why we want to try start the parent committee before we start actually working with the boys. So once we get the application, we want to set up a parent committee, like the school. We have the PTA president because you want to have the parents want to have them coming to camp. They will help us come to camp. They will help ease the burden of things. So the parents you want them to be a part of the program as much as possible. Mr. Wilson, I don't know what you want to say about that.
Yeah, for my two groups that time, got the one at the Central Branch, my parents was well involved, sorry. Even Christ the King, Miss Dalmage and other parents was well involved because what I try to do, I try to get parents because parents are not skip it call when they're going out with them boys. I say, yes, you can come. But once you're coming, you have to abide by the rules set down by the Scout Association, the rules by what I can go by Scout Association. And I also get my leaders my parents registered because we are former what we used to call it the local LA. We always get them registered, same with the scouts, because once they come on the camp, they must be registered. So now I'm gonna get my parents involved. So as Mr. Dean said, instead of cause something to help you cook, cause while they are cooking, you can be there looking after the boys, cause some of the boys you can't be the person cooking and the boys and leave them by themselves. So them always get my parents involved.
All right. So basically, I guess that's what we plan to do. So I think we're gonna have you guys have a wonderful holiday. I think our next meeting is gonna be the local, Mr. Wilson, so we can start preparing the leaders from the different community and the seriousness of these leaders. At least we're gonna have 10, as in most things, we might ask for 10 leaders and we're gonna boil up. That's how we say we're gonna boil up. We might have 6 out of those 10, but we're gonna be going up and down. Whosoever is gonna be leading, gonna be properly screened, background check. One thing with me, once I'm involved in anything, I'm going to call the four corner August and ask what a person that is in, me have to me do my personal background check. So you make the leaders them know, say, if you know of something, I would not gonna reject it, but just be honest and tell us. And we don't want you go over that stuff, over the border, this so you the man, somebody never tell us, and don't think the scout is gonna protect you from the law of them course to take. So we're not a shield for anybody. Tell us what it is so we can know, say if you want to work in your quarters, in your little space. But don't think you're gonna go there under the scouting and when anything happens, you say, boy, So we're gonna be straight up, very straight with you people, what the criteria is. Everything is on paper. So that's basically what we're gonna be doing. Time and time again, we're gonna be having somebody from the headquarter patrol, somebody from the district. We're a part of what is called a district. We're a part of the St. Andrew district, so we have to get permission and approval from the district commissioner and the national, which is the national headquarters. They also have to approve us. So time and time again, we're going to be having people from these office to come in and give us training, different things, so the training team consists of people from the district and the national. So they will teach us all the things that we need to know, because with scouting, like for me, although I'm involved in it for 30 years, every year I still have to do a youth protection. I still have to upgrade my training because things and times are changing. So no matter how long you do something, today technology is different, See, we never used to have Zoom meeting, and if Sean never teach me how to turn off my mic, I'll be talking. So we always need training and update. And as the scout said, a scout obeys the orders of those in authority. The young can lead us, the patrol leaders can lead us. We respect the person at the moment who is in authority. And this is what makes us different from other groups when having a meeting, because we know that there are certain things that engraved in us without I can be at a camp with over 500 person or people, and once I raise my hand for pin drop, and you can be in a meeting with 10 people or 5 people, and you could shout and do everything, and you would never get that silence. And people wonder why we're so different or so unique. But it's all because of training. All right. So if there's any other thing, any other final comments that someone want to say?
Yes, Mr. Rod. For my local groups, well, only one of them was a local group, Mr. Conroy. Because the rest of people that was saying Saturday. Because, since as they had a tree light sermon up by Bryce Hill, there was a lady, she's a female lady, Miss Elworth. I think she wanted to be a part of it, but she did commit herself up by because she put in the group say Saturday 7 o'clock. So I think we might go for our next week. I think can you run be for a meeting for our next week Saturday? And also that gentleman from Christ the King, when him Galaxy 10E. As an old person from that era. Can you add him to the group?
He's in the group. That's how he's on. He's in the group. Marlon. He's in the group.
Yeah.
But he's in US, Mr.
Yeah, but if in the US, I can't talk it right on the phone here.
But he's in the group. Okay, he's in the group. He's in the. What I'm gonna do, I'm also gonna draft up a list for everybody so you can know who is who, their number, and their email address. So I'm gonna be forwarding that in your email. I'm doing a program. I trying to get a program with that, like a small what historical thing of what we have done so far. Minutes, and I've been dropping up something. We also gonna need somebody to take notes. We're also gonna need a secretary. He's an artist, but but we're gonna need secretary. We're gonna need treasurer. As time goes by, we might have sponsor, we might have events. So from the different level. So these are some of the things we're gonna be selected from the different group. Both from your local group, both from this group here. We're gonna need people to PR person to promote the group and things like that. It's not gonna be a Mr. Road group. It's gonna be a teamwork.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to get Conroy a little involved because Conroy just sit down on his couch, kicking back, enjoying. As a younger person in the community, you're from Ghostmithville, all right?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I'm right in front of Open Bible Church.
Okay, I want to ask you, what do you see Scouting doing in your neck of the woods? Tell us about the things that you would like to see Scouting do for your neighborhood.
More involvement with the youths. More involvement. Next thing, spending more time understanding them. Okay, can I explain something?
Elaborate, please. You have all the time.
Okay. As I said, I do training, but I've never done scout training, but I do training of adults and I teach adult education. I also do CXC for kids and all them things there. And one other thing I realized that once you can get children involved in something, it makes opportunity for them. So this group, I see an opportunity where a door can open for a community to start brand new. If we actually get the youth them together, put them in a system where they see the purpose, that's the main thing, purpose. Because a lot, you said something earlier, and I want to rephrase it back. These youths in Augustown, sometimes they are depressed. And in order to get depression off them, they have to have a purpose. I think the scout here, I think this group is the opportunity, the benchmark, the bone of the opportunity for everybody. If we can build a purpose for the youth them, then we can say, yeah, it will work. Because I have a daughter, and I've learned that one thing with kids, if they see adult lead, they'll follow. That's one thing I've learned with kids. Once they see that you are leading, I'm not talking no joke lead, I'm talking serious leading. Once you're serious about what you say and mean what you say, they will drop everything just to follow you. So I think this group here, you people, you make no joke. You actually are all about what you're saying, and I'm 100% with it. I will back it 100%. I'll put whatever I can, whatever hands I can stretch, I will be there. Because I have never been in a group apart from adult groups, but with this group, opportunity is always there. It's always there. And I love the group. I just love it already. You know, I've been sitting here and trying to put things in my head. How would I actually write some nice information, put things together, promotion, and put it towards you, how we can promote our group. That's one of the things I was looking at. How can we promote this group?
Are you seeing any likely youths in your neck of the wood who fit the description of what you're envisioning?
Yeah, man, I've seen couples. You know Oakland, right?
In Auguston?
Yeah, man, Oakland.
Yes.
All right. Most of the guys in Oakland, they will work with me. They call me vet. So most of them know me as Dogman and stuff. So if I call them and say to them, say, yo, I'm going to start that thing, you know, most of them will rally. It's like, many times I do something, them always want to be a part of it. You understand? Yes. Because what I try to do, I try to introduce them to solution. So Oakland is one main place. Trust me, when you go Oakland have a wallet for you.
Okay.
Wallet for you.
Okay, thank you.
And if I may add, once the incentive is there for the kids, the youth, they'll grasp for it. You know.
Yes.
Am I muted or unmuted?
No, you're unmuted.
Okay. Yes, once the incentive is there, I mean, if we can have, say, two kids, the opportunity.
No, I'm not hearing.
Yeah, if you can speak up a little bit in the microphone.
Come close up a little to your mic, because we're not hearing you.
Once we give the incentive for these youth to do, like for instance, overseas trip, visit another country, whether it's US, Canada, or Caribbean, and we sponsor 1 or 2 youth for the year. That's a lot of incentive that will encourage a whole lot of them to join up and be a part of it. You know. To attend camp, scouting camp, you know. That incentive is a big jump start for them. And it will really encourage them to be a part of it. You know?
And as what the early speaker say, we're not gonna give them empty promises, because sometimes you tell a man foreign and a man say, boy, I'm gonna join a group of book and go foreign. And out of the 100, maybe one get the privilege to go. So that's why I said, let me say incentive is good, but as what Mr. Clive said, the first thing I want to do is leave the community. Incentive. We're gonna have a tour at Upper Camp. We're gonna understand we just have self-empowerment. That's something that they will benefit for themselves. We're not gonna make international thing is a high thing. But you have some scout join and say, boy, the man has something I go for it, and 2 years come and never get a chance to go. But that is a part of the incentive, yes. But the first and earliest incentive, and be real with them, this is a program that's gonna take you around the island. And we know we can deal with the island. We're gonna take you, we're gonna empower you. Mr. Conroy mentioned some of people who are older than Scout, they are not Scout, but the Scouting program, we will reach out. Suppose there's some boy over 18 and they don't want to be a part of something. as scout, we can reach out for counseling to them. We can reach out to the old lady who is not a scout. We can, so although we say we have these boys within the age, you gotta find people who might be wanting to need help, because scout is not angel and saint, you know. These are people we're gonna transform to be disciplined. So it's not the best. The guys that gonna join scout. So every time when they come to the meeting, everybody want to run out of the meeting. So I lead have to know that say it's not a man gonna come in with holy. I remember I went to Mona Primary School. And when I went there, the principal said, boy, thank God Mr. Rodney you come. And when I go in the corridor, there was some youth from, I think some from different part, Kentire Tavern. 5 days, no teacher don't want them. Them get expelled. No, I mean, no teacher don't want them. I mean, sit them and say, let me hear them talk. And I'm gonna tell me some things, say, boy, them who lack who and lack who. And I say, man, when the man them don't talk, I say, if me I go on camp, you know, I have to go sign out for your armored car, my tent. A little man said, don't worry yourself, Mr. Road, me have your back, me have something bigger than the armored car. So you must know, say, you're gonna encounter some serious young men, and you have to appreciate to listen to them and see how we're gonna work out with them. So as a leader, you cannot be a feeble-minded or so they're gonna listen to what you say and depend on your promise. So we promise or tell them what is reality, what is in our scope. You know. So if you know some boy, we can only drive, we can only tell this man to Whoop Garden. You say, be a part of the scout, man. You get a chance to go Whoop Garden. You talk what you know you can achieve or you think you can accomplish with him. And that's what scouting is all about as a leader. There are a lot of opportunity, but you said, I know that I can get you the opportunity. Then once you go to Hope Garden, there's a wider for you. You can be selected to go to different Caribbean country, but first you have to reach a certain stand, thing like that. You just
Okay, that's what I was about to come back to.
oh, sorry.
Because even when I was a Boy Scout, to attend even the summer camp, you have to read second class scout. You can only go to regular camp in Kent and those regular camp, you know, like Tenderfoot, you know. But once you go to those summer camps, you have to reach second class level back then. And I mean, I started wearing my uniform at what, 11 plus, before my brother, who was 1 year older than me. But every evening I want to do a test with my scoutmaster, every evening, because I want to make it to second class. And it never took me no time to reach that level and become assistant patrol leader. And from there to patrol leader, you know. So the incentive is a workable method, you know. As long as they have an incentive to work and push ahead, they'll do it. You know? Okay, next. Hello.
Yeah, man. Is there any other comments before we touch down for anybody have anything else they want to add or say?
Just one thing, Dean. I heard a lot of discussion about like going out. We must always remember that scouting, 60-70% of scouting is what you do within the community. You know, you want to set that standard first, that the boys know that, you know, be on display within their community, whether march through camping, badge day, patrol competition, all those kind of things. Kind of develop the interest within the community before they start to look out. Looking out is more, as you said, it's an incentive, like the district camping, national camping, hiking or whatever, you know, as used to happen. But you guys got to make sure that a lot of those activities are within the community, that builds trust, builds excitement, and make others see that something positive is happening within the community. If you're always looking to go out, then people won't see what you're doing if you're out. You want to be within the community and wearing your uniform proudly and and modeling those behaviors within the community and develop the excitement. 'Cause that's the real basis and foundation for Scout. It's not always looking out
Yes.
where we can go next. It's a part of it. It's a part of the motivation. But as I say, a big part of it it has to be community based so that the community can see the changes and the benefits of having such a group within the community.
I support you, and I think if there's something that Sean had posted on my Facebook page, what we did, Mr. Williams, what we did, we camp. People say we can't camp right at the entrance of Hermitage. We camp there for the weekend, and we have all the patrols.
Yeah.
One patrol go to Augustown Police Station. So they walk from Hermitage down to Augustown Police Station. And they get information. We get them out, who is the inspector in charge of the Augustown Police Station. Then we send another patrol to Goldsmith Villa by the skate land. And that was a real, that was a real great idea. The flag, we have a scout raise the flag in the morning by the community, the entrance of the community. A scout take down the flag. So as what you said, people are seeing us working within the community. And I think
even church like Christ the King.
Yeah.
Our church, the group visit the church and
yeah.
participate, visit one of our old folks' home if it's still there, do stuff, helping. Those are things they want to see that, wow, this is making a big difference. This has been missing for years. So you want to start there and build that strong foundation, and then you start to move out.
Yes, definitely. Start in the community.
Well, for me, when I was at Christ the King, there was our youth Sundays where we have the boy have to come to church. We would march to church, and then because that's the only way everybody knows that when there's a scout group. Because people pass and see outside to train the boys, and then we used to go that one time it was Christ the King, then we go to our neighboring church, which is Open Bible. The whole of folks men with us Bamboo Church, Open Bible. So that's where people in my community will know, because even though some people don't call me right name, call me Scout leader. They don't know me right name, and although we do have a Scout group, but people know me as the Scout leader. So we go around, man. And I think even in our community, the 7 day of they call them pathfinders. Then down they have a band, so they make a lot of noise. Well, we do have a band, so sometimes we planning was to emerge with them, but through the violence, emerge with them, and then we go around with them. But through the violence, we didn't have to. They're still down, man, but they can't find one and two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I have a band. I work with a band in St. Catherine, but they are willing to assist me. I've sent down some equipment for the band since this year. A couple drums and things. So Spanish Town band, so whenever time I'm ready, they are willing to work with me. All right, gentlemen. I want to see if we can wrap up. We try to work with a time frame. It's been a pleasure. Short notice, as the motto is be prepared. One thing I'm also looking down the line, I'm working with what we used to do. We used to work with the embassy, work with the different ambassadors. The Nigerian High Commissioner. I was looking at a picture when Ace Selassie came to Jamaica. Scout was there opening the car door. And these are some of the things I would like to see come back, and I want to take on that challenge. That when a diplomat is coming we are at the airport, using the police to drop us there, have a guard of honor, welcome them to the country, and then and if we can take on that task as a new group, maybe the next 2 years or so, we can train our boys and train a squad for that thing. There's a function at the embassy that we normally go there and take them out. The U.S. embassy is right down the bottom there. They have event. They normally have like a fun day. And we used to work. Hermitage Scout Troop would go as waiter. The scouts and the guide would go to these events as waiter. But it brings us to work with, like, we might not leave the country, but it get give us a part of the heritage, know the different country and the heritage. The Nigerian High Commissioner, we invite them to Hermitage to come at a function to talk to the scout them in there at the troop meeting. Bring the Nigerian High Commissioner. I brought the Nigerian High Commissioner in Hermitage, right at the entrance at our camp at the entrance, and have them come in there. We don't have, as Mr. Williams said, we don't have to go there. People say the American ambassador come talk to the scouts in Augustown. That would be such a difference than, these people want to come in our community. So we can, once we reach out to them, they will come. So once again, I want to thank you for the short notice. A minute, Sean, is there something else you want to wrap up with? If not.
Oh, no, it's okay.
All right, Mr. Williams, if there's nothing, you can bless you up, then, wrap it up with a blessing.
Sure. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time, Lord, that you have granted us to meet together like this. Though we are far apart, we yet through technology we're able to communicate and discuss the plans that are in the making for the groups in the Kingston 7th-year Scouting. Father, we pray that you continue to be with the leaders, give them the boldness, the strength, and the vigor to continue on this plan and to make it happen, because it's beneficial to the youth, Father. We know that without guidance and leadership, youth will go astray. And Father, this time is not, it's not accidental. I think it's a time for this to happen. And we pray that you continue to be with this group and with the group that has been planned to put together from all these communities within the Kingston 7th-year, Father. Bless us as we leave, as we ask you to guide us in Jesus' name. Amen.